You know, I came out here and asked, I demanded this time. I demanded this time to come out here and address you tonight. I don't have to tell you where I've been, how long I've been there, what's going on with me, or where I'm going. Because the truth is, don't worry. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I don't know where I'm going. I have no idea what the next step is. I've spent so much time being a corporate guy, trying to take care of everybody else, and I have forgotten about number one. I've forgotten about AJ Styles. So basically why I'm out here is to tell you this. This has nothing to do with you. This has nothing to do with the Impact Zone. This has nothing to do with Dixie Carter. This has nothing to do with This has nothing to do with Impact Wrestling. This has everything to do with AJ Styles. I'm so sick and tired of being the corporate janitor and cleaning up every TNA mess. I'm tired of always doing the right thing. So from now on, I'm going to be doing my own thing.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your host, Fearon.
Sit down, shut up, and listen up.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon here with you, bringing you the worst attempt at a heel turn since one that I haven't done yet. Yes, AJ Styles attempting to not become a fan favorite and getting cheered even more as he leaves the ring after cutting that promo. Go figure. That granted, he's got some time to go, but I think he's going to need to figure out a different direction. I don't know. Maybe they can bring a. No, I shouldn't suggest or condone any kind of animal violence, but that's probably about the only way they're going to boo AJ Styles at this point, because I don't know. Whatever he does down there, they cheer him. That's just pretty much how it goes. All right, a quick look at the Facebook feedback here. John making all kinds of contributions, saying someone at WWE creative team should get a lump of coal or something. Yeah, I don't think he means Michael Cole in that regard, although that would probably be just as awful of a gift. The WWE app has surpassed HBO Go in downloads and user feedback. The second screen experience that the WWE app provides is what is labeled as the main point of positive feedback. Yeah, that's nothing like WWE giving you the app to pat itself on the back because somebody has to. I know I haven't been patting it on the back lately. And in reference to the little bit of baseball talk that we had, Josh Hamilton is the third man, which, as I slowly but surely attempt to educate Starship Matt here on all things wrestling, the third man being a reference to, I know we're going back a little ways to your childhood, 1996, when the introduction of the NWO, you might have heard of them, the New World Order. Oh, we have a long way to go. Oh my goodness! You're giving me a blank look with NWO. I have we have some work to do. Lots of educating going on here. It was a renegade. it was a renegade group that was headed by Hulk Hogan as well as Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Hall and Nash were working for the World Wrestling Federation at the time, made their way over to WCW, and they had challenged 3 of WCW's greats, Lex Luger, Sting, and Randy Savage, to a 6-man tag match at Bash at the Beach in July of '96, and there was the mystery third man, which in the midst of the match, Hulk Hogan came out. Everybody thought, since he was all decked in yellow and red, that he was going to save the day after one of the good guys got knocked out. And next thing you know, for the first time in about 15 years, he becomes a bad guy, becomes a heel, and the infamous announcement by it's either Tony Schiavone or Bobby Heenan. Now I forget all of a sudden. Again, I blame the sleep deprivation. I'm sure somebody will let me know. That Hulk Hogan is the third man, and that's what he was making reference to with Josh Hamilton, who signed with the Anaheim Angels. And also Steve from Hamilton chiming in, referencing my lengthy lack of sleep. He says he does not sleep, he does not eat. You can't stop him from making terrible predictions. He is the Fearoninator. Thank you for the shameless promotion, but... Okay, I have made some terrible predictions, but I think somebody has me trumped who we no longer mention in these circles for very good reason. Yeah, we don't talk about certain vermin. It's usually a good idea. And John, thank you. You always providing, and I'm sure that Starship Matt can check this out maybe during a commercial break or something. The video link to Hulk Hogan joining the NWO at the Bash at the Beach '96. Gotta love this instant Facebook feedback. It's an amazing thing. It just brings so much to the show. Gotta love. I love interaction. This is better interactivity than anything WWE's doing, and that'll lead me to talking about the Slammies coming up a little bit later. The Slammy Awards this Monday on Raw, which is going to be here in Philadelphia. Get to see that live. You can tell I'm thrilled. I know. I just have a smidge of sardonicism. Maybe it's because I'm getting over a cold. I don't know. Anyway, let's go to the phones. That will maybe bring me some semblance of holiday cheer. I stand corrected. Let's go to Ed, who's been hanging patiently. Ed, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
You lose Ed? Move on to Ron.
Maybe Christmas came early. I don't know. Let's give Ron a go. Ron, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly. Guess we're having some phone issues here. We'll have to see if we can get those figured out and straightened out. We'll get Starship Matt figuring that out. And meanwhile, we'll talk a little bit about the Slammies. They are this Monday, and Raw's in Philly, and you can participate in the voting. That's right. You can do so courtesy of Twitter. They have the various categories, and you can give your nomination for them by providing a particular hashtag. For Match of the Year, you can have hashtag WWE Match of Year. For LOL Moment of the Year, you can do hashtag WWE LOL. For the Tell Me I Did Not Just See That award, the Most Shocking Moment of the Year, hashtag WWE Most Shocking. I hate using the word hashtag, but unfortunately, thank you, Twitter. Kiss of the Year, hashtag WWE Kiss. Didn't realize there were that many of them. Comeback of the Year, hashtag WWE Comeback. The Trending Now Award, hashtag of the Year, hashtag WWE Trend of Year. Breakout Star of the Year, hashtag WWE Breakout. And Superstar of the Year, hashtag WWE Superstar 2012. Yeah, so I guess they're giving you the opportunity to nominate whoever you want. So if you wanted Hornswoggle to be Superstar of the Year, you can just make a post mentioning Hornswoggle and throw in the hashtag WWE Superstar 2012. Why you would do such a thing, I don't know. Maybe to take votes away from Cena, I don't know. But I'm sure people are going to flood the vote gates. I don't know how this is going to work, and I also don't know who's going to be the person who's tabulating all these votes. Whoever that is, I feel sorry for that poor sap. Can we find out who that is? Send him a donation, something, maybe. I don't know. Get a collection going. Perhaps. All right. I don't know. I'm going off on some varying tangents here, and that's probably not a good thing. So let's see. Do we want to give the phones a go here? We got them back up and running. All right. Who we got on the line here?
Should have Ron.
All right. We got Ron. Thought I did. Okay. Apparently not. All right, Matt. Let's. All right, Matt's going to keep working on that. We'll figure this out at some point. I'll tell you. Meanwhile, we've got. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. We've got the Nature Boy's wife filing for separation because Ric Flair's allegedly naching again. I know, that's a shocker. It almost seems it's kind of like breaking news. The sun came up today. No, Jacqueline Flair has filed for legal separation from WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair. Flair cited acts of illicit sexual behavior in the documents she filed in Mecklenburg, North Carolina. Quote, husband has had numerous intimate relationships with other women during the party's marriage to the embarrassment and humiliation of wife. Apparently she didn't know what she was getting into when she was marrying the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Just throwing that out there. She claims to have been faithful through the 3-year marriage. Gotta love those claims and alleged allegations and whatnot, but you're marrying Ric Flair. What did you expect? You're his 4th wife now. You kind of had to figure something was up. You know, it's not like, you were his 4th wife and he was left behind as a widow with the other 3. No, they all left him because he was naching. You kind of know that's part of the deal when you're going into it. At least you would think that that's the case. But apparently she didn't. I don't know. All right, we'll get back to some more news and notes in a bit here. I'm on a roll today, for better or worse. TNA Final Resolution. It happened this past Sunday, and I went 6-1 for the pay-per-view. And we had a bonus match that I didn't have a prediction on to lead off the pay-per-view. James Storm beating Kazarian. Storm coming out, cutting a promo, and Kazarian doing the whole ripping the whole cowboy thing and attempting to make fun of him riding off into the sunset and saying sunshine instead. Yeah, it didn't quite go over well, but at least Kazarian's improving on his mic skills just a little bit. More than can be said for me at this point. Rob Van Dam pinning Kenny King to retain the X Division title. Got that one right. The only one I didn't get right, Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez beating Matt Morgan and Joey Ryan. I figured, why not? The new group would win the tag titles, but you never know. Morgan pulling out the referee, getting disqualified, so Guerrero and Hernandez retain. Austin Aries pinning Bully Ray, as I figured, thanks to some outside chicanery involving the whole Brooke Hogan saga, and of course Hulkster getting involved. Tara beating Mickie James to retain the Knockouts title. And in that 4-on-4, also known as an 8-man tag match, Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, Garrett Bischoff, and Wes Briscoe beating the 4 members of Aces and Eights, Devon, DOC, and the 2 others. Christopher Daniels pinning AJ Styles in the last match of their supposed feud. I'm still maintaining until the next one. And Jeff Hardy beat Bobby Roode to hold on to the TNA Championship. So that's 6-1 for the pay-per-view, 100 right, 55 not right for 2012. So with 7 predictions, as long as I go better than 2 and 5 for the for the remaining pay-per-view, I'll have a record equal to or better than the Phillies from 2011. We'll see if that happens. Who knows? Yeah. Not that means anything other than bragging rights, especially considering that I've declared them long ago, predictions certain to go wrong. I'm obviously proving myself wrong, which, I don't know. The fact that my predictions are certain to go wrong and that in itself is wrong, it's some kind of sort of inception wrongness within wrongness. I don't know. But I'm sure it makes sense to somebody. I'm trying to make sense out of it, and yeah, it's not quite working. I don't know. How are we looking with the phones? Are we going to give it another go here?
We'll try it after the break.
Okay. Well, we'll take care of some business. Make sure we got everything squared away here. I'll try a couple of buttons as well. Make sure. Oh, okay. You know what? first I have to go to this quick Facebook feedback. Bob chiming in, what the bleep is a hashtag? That's that's, well, hey, if you're not on Twitter, you know what? Yeah, I was going to say, you're laughing here and you didn't know what the NWO was. I don't want to hear a thing from you, Starship. Come on now.
Touche.
Yeah, and John, hashtag is the Twitter term used to promote and or create a topic of conversation on Twitter. And it's, you'd know it as either the pound sign on a telephone or, the little tic-tac-toe board if you want to go that route. Number of ways to look at it, but that is the hashtag. And yes, it's, as John also puts, it's from an internet sensation known as the Twitter. Yes, because you have to throw a "the" in front of those things, almost Bret Hart style. Kind of like at the Survivor Series or at the WrestleMania or at the Royal Rumble. Various things like that. All right, we're having almost too much fun here, so I think it's more than enough time to take care of a little bit of business, see if we can get the phones up and running. Got more news and notes. We still have the independent wrestler who was reported dead but actually wasn't story to talk about. And also an injury coming out of the Final Resolution pay-per-view. Also a little bit more on The Rock, Jeff Hardy, and Paul Heyman wrestling in a match. All that and more. Plus, unfortunately, more news about Hulk Hogan's sex tape. It's news. I have to report it. There are some things, you do because, as Edward R. Murrow said, you do the things you have to do in order to do the things you want to do. And that's what we do here on Pro Wrestling Weekly. Let me give you the numbers. 215-949-3232 or toll free at 888-922-2149. Hopefully we'll get the phones working on the other side. If not, there's always the Facebook feedback. It's certainly been active for better or worse. And the way I'm feeling today, who knows? This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.